Hey everyone, Arthur Fantastic here, aka the Irresistible Venom, aka the Bishonen Ronin, and I'm here today to talk about the news that just dropped from Craig Jones on the BT channel. Everybody's talking about it. Craig Jones is leaving the sport, and B Team is no longer going to exist. So let's jump into it now. Now, there's a lot of moving pieces here. B Team has gotten its fair share of criticism, especially in light of recent events of J-Rod and them throwing him completely under the bus, which you can watch here on this channel. Which I covered. The whole story is blown way out of proportion, and they threw a great competitor under the bus for no reason, and to some extent, Nicky Rod. But things have been kind of shaky ever since that, I would say. I mean, I don't think there's any kind of like bad blood going on. In the recent interview, in addition to the video that he dropped on his channel that B Team is going to no longer, we've also got the interview with Luke Thomas, where he discusses this at some length. And he's basically saying what a lot of people have been thinking, even discussing some things that Gordon Ryan have said, which we'll get to his statement about the B Team ending at the end of this video. He was basically saying, I'm not here all the time, better to take me out of this rebrand, which I can, you have to take with some salt, take with a grain of salt. I don't know 100% what Craig Jones is doing. You never know. He's a very sneaky, scrappy type of guy. So that trickster long game, we don't know what he's doing, and if he really means it. People fake retire all the time. People fake go out of the sport all the time. But his reasoning is that he's never there. He's always traveling, and then he's got something like 2 big fights coming up. Jack Magdalena and Volkanovski both got 2 fights, and I can understand why you would take that time. Not only friendship, but the pay that he'll get for doing these camps with them, and then having to travel to the fights to be there in the corner. He's going to take up a significant amount of time. That's 6 weeks each one, let's say. That's 12 weeks. That's 3 months, plus the traveling, and then probably a partying afterward. That's another at least 2 weeks. So what are we seeing? We're seeing a change of an era. B Team, huge on social media, really making its rounds. Very fun to watch. Their rolling footage, their little vlogs. Craig Jones isn't in all of them. He's not in a lot of them. But because he is a big name, maybe those episodes get more views. But the whole B Team social media, YouTube, has been getting a good amount of traction in what they're doing. But now, it's all coming to an end after CJI 2. Then, Craig says he is going to disappear, take a step away from the sport, which he kind of is. He's more like going to do MMA fighter camps. But what does that mean for the sport? With the sentiments of Luke Thomas, I echo what will happen to the sport in the absence of Craig Jones. Craig Jones being the guy that's kind of, talking about fighter pay and always stirring up some shit. And week to week, almost every week, some shit is being stirred up by him. Do I like all the shit that he stirs up? No, I think he's very trolly, and he admits to, I think, publicly that he likes to troll people. So that is what that is. But more importantly, what will happen to the sport, not just what's going to happen to the entertaining things that I get to view every day on social media. CJI is a very big event, and once again, relaying what they're talking about on the Luke Thomas interview, there is no guarantees for CJI 3. CJI 2 is looking to be one of the biggest grappling events of the year, if not the biggest. It's going to get a lot of big names. Though some names have been drawn away by UFC, BJJ, and ADCC was always there, contending with CJI. though they've made amends, it looks like. The CJI 3 not being as guaranteed or likely to happen as it was before, it has created a small, or rather large hole in the grappling events that are going to happen next year. Like, you're seeing this one and you're like, oh wow, this may be the last one. And I know it's going to be good. It's got the quintet format. They're getting serious competitors. It's going to be a good event. You know, if there isn't another one, that's upsetting. I was looking forward to the CJI tournament, whatever they decide to do each year. I like all the gimmicks to be something that's big, that happened once a year, and we wait for the next one and the next one, which was kind of like what ADCC was like before. But it's lost a lot of its allure, let's say. And I have to agree with the sentiment of Craig Jones that people are looking for a spectacle. People are looking to have these big events that they can go and enjoy and be a part of, and not only just like, oh, I'm spectating a match, but it's like a thing. There's things happening. It's not just, oh, we have a couple mats. You know what I mean? It's very exciting to watch these CJI matches. And then you look at the event and how they set it up. It also looks fun to just attend. I can tell you personally from attending karate combat events, it is an amazing experience, the way to be able to see inside the pit, to what's going around the pit. And Craig Jones has taken, or was at least in the first event, took the production crew from Karate Combat and threw that event. And so you see the elements of Karate Combat. I always want to shout out Karate Combat when we're talking about CJI and the pit, because they are the people that created it, and they are the ones that set this into motion. And they're still throwing on great events. There's a great event happening in Miami. I'm hoping I can make it to it. We'll see. More on that later in another video, not this one. So we talk about what's going on with Craig Jones. I don't think there's any animosity, but he's also the type of guy that will hide that type of thing to make himself look better. I'm neutral party. I like some of his stuff. I don't like some of his stuff. I'm just trying to report what the fuck is going on. And the headline is, B Team is not going to be B Team anymore. It's going to be something else. Nicky Ryan's going to take over. Nicky Rod's going to be there. Ethan's going to be there. Damien's going to be there. If you know those names, then you're familiar with B Team. If you don't, then that's a problem for B Team to solve, or whatever they're going to rename it as. At the same time, meanwhile, across Austin, Kingsway has just opened. So it's no longer New Wave. Gordon Ryan's opened Kingsway. That's going to be the new spot. It's going to be the end of the era for New Wave. It looks like New Wave their last competition is going to be CGI, unless they rebrand before them and it's going to be Kingsway. But that was something that kind of Craig threw out there too. So there's interesting storylines going into CJI. Something that you don't see in a lot of events. Even MMA. MMA used to have a lot of storylines. Craig touched on this in his interview, but it's also something that I talk about a lot on this channel. Driving the hype, creating some type of momentum for these events so that they actually get someone watching. If no one is watching, it's not going to grow. And no one is watching the Naga events. No one's watching the grappling industry events unless you have an upcoming match and you know that's going to be in your opponent, so you do a little research. But most people, outside of a very small niche group of people, are watching these smaller regional tournaments. That is not including the people that are there, which is also a very small amount of people if you look holistically at the grander scheme of the community. There's a lot more people than just a few people that are at those tournaments. So CJI, on the other hand, they got the storylines, they got the hype, they got the names, they even got people that are in the crowd watching, and they also have a couple different storylines like the Gable Stevenson and Craig Jones match. Last year was the Gabby Garcia Craig Jones match. These were actually driving hype. Last year you had Fionn Davis versus Mackenzie Dern, two of the hottest biatches, as you would say, in the 90s, or chicas in the early 2010s, or baddies, as you may say today. Two of the biggest baddies in the sport really threw down. And you look at Mackenzie Dern. She hasn't been doing grappling tournaments. Is she going to do well? Fionn Davis, she's the queen of the mats right now. Oh, it's a story. That's a story you can tell and sell. And that's the women's division too. So you're drawing hype for a lot of different things, and it's all coming together at CGI 1. We're looking at the same thing happening at CGI 2 when you have all these mini tournaments, like the one in Australia to get on the Giles trials. You have the European trials, which they didn't even make alive or anything, but you see them scrapping all the way off the mat into the fucking couches, and people that are just there all of a sudden joining the tournament. It's just crazy stuff. That's the type of hype we want to see. And when we hear that, Craig Jones is not going to be in the sport, I'm just going to disappear, you're not going to see me involved in the sport, that's kind of like troubling. And Luke Thomas had those sentiments. I have those sentiments. You know what I mean? I may have disagreements with what Craig Jones does sometimes, like in the J-Rod case and things like that. But I don't want to see him go from the sport, and it's a bit sad to see. It makes me want to know more. And as I've said in other videos, Craig Jones is a troll, and he knows how to bring hype, and he knows how to get people interested. Is this another one of his fucking attempts? Even if he's legitimately going to go take a break and say take a whatever vacation and then come back later, you know what I mean? Is this preface happening before CGI, which is a month away, meant to draw more people's eyes on what's happening, which I think it is. But Craig Jones is such an unpredictable character. I don't know what to think 100% on what he's saying. Does he even mean it? Who knows? But that all being said, I hope that CGI 2 goes off great. I hope there's a CGI 3. I hope that there continues to be these CGI events, big events like this, with people that know how to promote and bring hype, and not just, I'm going to give my best out there type fucking interviews in the lead up. No drama, nothing. Like, there is drama there, and all you have to do is find where it is and record it and let people see it. And I think that's pretty much my thoughts on the Craig Jones B team thing. Like, I think it's time to move on and see what Gordon Ryan's response to the entire thing was. Okay, so I got here a post from Gordon Ryan. It was posted on Monday, July the 14th on his Facebook. There's been a couple of responses already on this, but I don't think everybody's seen it because the news cycle in grappling and MMA is not as fast. People aren't getting the news as quickly as maybe people who are in the who love NBA or NFL. They're getting the news right away. You know what I mean? So, beef aside between Gordon Ryan and the B team and everything that's been happening, we're just going to get right into this post and discuss what Gordon Ryan says. Okay, and I'm going to read it in a snarky voice because I believe it's a bit snarky. Good news, everyone. In less than a short 5 years, nearly everyone who left the greatest combat team to have ever existed to form their own team has now also left that team. And almost all who left have asked to rejoin Kingsway. Even people who didn't leave have asked to rejoin. I guess they aren't happy with their leader romanticizing cocaine and losing constantly. Or maybe it's the fact that seeing Bigfoot on camera is a more likely catch than seeing the leader of the gym actually at the gym. Or maybe it's the fact that the leader of the gym is traveling the world partying while the real members run the gym. Or maybe it was their leader throwing both the Rod Boys under the bus for his own publicly perceived morality. Okay, I kind of agree with that one. Who knows? All I know is that by their own admission, they give zero fucks about building any new talent, which isn't surprising since they haven't built a single decent athlete outside the guys who were our students in almost 5 years. Woof. It's okay that they don't give a fuck about anyone who isn't good. That's okay. I know of a 6th spot in Austin, Texas that's opening soon, where we'll have world champions, not blue belts, teaching our pro classes, and teaching to all levels and aspirations. Nothing better than cutting out the poison and then over 50% of the initial people jumping ship. I guess it's time for a rebrand, boys. You can call yourselves Team Bankrupt starting the first week of August. Ooh, shots fired. Shots fired. T? Anyone? T? Ooh, all right, so let's kind of comment on this. I see the cocaine thing for sure. I think that Craig Jones may be doing a lot, but who the fuck am I to judge him? I don't judge Conor McGregor. I don't judge ITP MMA Live for partaking in the booger sugar. But I could understand that being a problem. But I really want to draw attention to him being the leader of the gym, but never being there. And I think that's a really big problem. Plus, that whole debacle with the Rod Boys, like, what the fuck was that all about? Like, it really was mishandled. I did a whole series on that. Once again, check it out. If it's not in the card, it's definitely in the description. And then there's some shots fired about how they left that team and now people are rejoining. I don't know who the athletes that he's alluding to are that are leaving B Team, as it is called now, and going to Kingsway. Which I understand why. You got John Danaher, you got Gordon Ryan, you got Helena Corvara, and a number of other world champions that are training there all the time. I can understand you jumping ship, especially if it's J-Rod, you know what I mean, who got exiled from B Team for whatever reason. Then you got the this particular sentence. Nothing better than cutting out the poison and then over 50% of the initial people jumping ship. Very interesting choice of words. Did really that many people leave? Are they really going to Kingsway? Is there really something happening once again that Craig Jones isn't addressing that's happening behind the scenes at B Team, whatever it'll be called soon? I think Craig Jones was talking about Simple Man Jiu-Jitsu. In fact, while saying that Craig Jones, while saying he doesn't ever talk shit about Gordon Ryan, he talks shit about Gordon Ryan, of course, because he does talk shit about Gordon Ryan a lot. And he's like, oh, I don't understand why he's mad at me, but you have your own trolling obsession with Gordon Ryan, and you don't like him for some reason. And this suggestion, he alluded to saying Kingsway, oh, that's elitist, and B Team, yeah, that's more the Simple Man. So yeah, Simple Man Jiu-Jitsu, good branding. From what he's saying and what I've seen, I haven't seen anybody taken from white belt to any kind of level of competition at B Team. I've seen a lot of fucking knee breaks in vlogs, people getting fucking hurt with leg locks. I've seen people, scrap well. I've seen other athletes from other gyms come there to train and do well. But are they building up any of their own talent? Which is important. Which is important for a gym. It's not just important for a gym. It's important for the sport. That has never been a problem with Kingsway, and it doesn't seem to be a problem with most gyms. But when they're making statements like this one over here, discussing how, I'll just say it. I'll just let him say it for a second.
One here at the B Team. B Team is a unique place. No white belts are allowed at the B Team, so I think it's the envy of most gyms around the world. We really take advantage of our image that we can actually do that. Not many gyms could actually survive without white belts, but luckily for us, we don't need them. We don't need them, and we don't want to train them.
If you don't want white belts there, that's, I understand exclusivity, marketing to a particular subset of people, trying to please your audience. But is B Team building athletes, and is there some truth to what Gordon Ryan is calling out about B Team? Hey, I've called out Gordon Ryan on this channel, but I've also said that I'm a fan as well, just like I am with Craig Jones. I'm not idolizing any man on this planet. I have one idol, God. I idolize him, and I don't make an idol of him talking about Christianity right now. I enjoy talking Christianity. If you like my Christian talks, check out my other channel where I discuss Christian theology and stuff like that. I digress. As I end this video, and really taken for a loop, he actually said some things that I actually said in this video, and I was like, huh, that's interesting that he kind of said the same thing I said. Not being around other people running the gym, partying all the time, and the whole Rod Boys debacle. Yeah, I agree with those points. I agree with those points. I don't have a problem with B Team. I have a problem with how they handled the J-Rod thing. I don't have a problem with B Team. I see truth in what he's saying. Just like I see truth in what Craig Jones and B Team says about Gordon Ryan, stuff like that. Like, you know, you shouldn't be cucking yourself. But like, what is true in terms of what's going on in that gym? Who might be a better place to train? He's making a really good argument to go to Kingsway and not go to B Team. If I went to Austin, I'd probably go to both. I don't know if anyone from B Team even watch these videos, or if I'm getting any fucking kind of traction on these videos for that to cause a problem. But if I did, I don't want any problems. I'm just saying it how I see it, and if you don't fucking like it, then go cry to your fucking mom. I'm not here to fucking baby anyone and hold the fucking standard of society, cultural norms, or fucking dick ride anyone. I'm here to fucking talk about what's real. And what's real is, if Craig Jones leaves the sport, I'd be sad. What B Team is doing seems sketchy, and Gordon Ryan had some points, and he's opening a school with what we know to be a very technical, savvy, well-spoken in terms of jiu-jitsu athlete that's going to be leading the school, in addition to whoever else is going to be there. Like, is John Denner going to be there, right? Gary Tonin, etc. Like, guys, all those people that were at B Team that got really good first trained under John Danaher. Let's not fucking forget, and they were teammates with Gordon Ryan. I hope one day that they, people like all these people kind of make amends, and so we don't have fucking problems all the time. But at the same time, I think there's space for not everyone to be all fucking hugs and kisses. Daniel Cormier and John Jones aren't fucking friends. There's some level of respect and seeing the good in each other, but they don't have to fucking hug and kiss and fucking be like, oh, we fought each other and now we're friends. It doesn't always have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way with Gordon Ryan and Craig Jones. But I think that Craig Jones not being in the sport, leaving that gaping space, is not a good thing for the sport or even the athletes at B Team, but people need to take time off. I understand. Craig Jones is still young. Probably like fucking Conor McGregor running around banging broads. We know that he is. We've seen the pictures of him hooked up to an IV and fucking broads fucking strewn about the room. Sure, I can understand. But, my concern is for the sport. I understand where Craig Jones might want to go do that. I totally understand. I think that there are some moral quandaries to, face in the type of lifestyle that if you have no morals or code, this is going to be quite degenerate. And if he's ultimately giving up the sport for a little while for degeneracy, I would think that that's kind of fucked. But I think if we just put all of it together, Craig Jones being this marketer, promoter, who says he's not going to be, you're not going to see him, but then he's already talking about doing 2 camps for 2 MMA fighters, and he likes to travel, he just doesn't want to be in one place, and CGI probably going to make a lot of money, probably going to be there, CGI 3, and just Craig Jones being Craig Jones, he's going to come back. It's just bullshit. And with the whole critique from Gordon Ryan, he may have some points, and there may need to be some reflection over at B Team. So, with all that being said, as I always say, thank you for watching, y'all. Let me give me a second. If you like the video, like the video. If you want to discuss, you have some disagreements, complaints, Don't like my opinion, like my opinion, get in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Subscribe if you like this content. When I say subscribe, the button below the video on the app or on the TV, little stars pop out. So I say subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. Helps us out a whole bunch. And as I always say, let me finish it off. Stay up, stay vigilant, stay locked and loaded, stay brutal. Shalom, shalom. Peace in. Y'all love it. Love y'all. Love it. Love y'all.